Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of Elemental Reforged Alpha. This is a beginner's guide. If you haven't watched the first video, please watch the first video. However, they put out a new version, so I'm going to be starting from scratch, but I'm not going to build my sovereign and all that, and I'm not going to explain a lot of the things I did in the other video. So make sure you watch the first video. And then come back to this video for more details about the early game stuff, right? Of course, I'm starting early game here, but I'm going to explain less and move pretty quickly. I am going to focus this episode on combat, specializing your cities, and a couple of other things. There's a lot of new quests. There's a lot of new creatures. There's a lot of new gameplay in that you can get heroes out in the wild rather than waiting for your fame to go up. And they did change some of the fame levels and a couple other things like that. Really great changes. I expect to see a lot more changes every week. So by the time you watch this video, a lot of things may have changed. But again, the gameplay, the basic gameplay, and some of the things I'm going over here will probably last for a while. But if not, check out some of my newer videos. Okay, so 251 is a great city to settle here. I think production is king, but it's nice having at least one essence here so for some flexibility. The 2 food is bad in that it's going to grow. This is going to grow very slowly, and it will only. I don't even know if it'll get to second level after a long time. But eventually, with building some towns and support, it'll be fine, I think. So not a great start, but it's a good enough start to do this video. All right. The other thing that's bad about this start, actually, is there's these mites. I think they're mites all around us. So that's going to be a little tricky. In fact, when I plant the city here, when I start the settlement here, it's going to wipe out, I think, it's at least in the old game, maybe not now, I don't know. It's going to wipe out this, which is going to free these guys up, and they're going to wander in and probably attack my city. Anyway, let's move on to the city. Let's settle. I like a 251. Not my favorite, but it's up there in the top 10 maybe. Wow, so a lot of this has changed. Okay. Goes right to this kingdom report. Very interesting. Okay, that's changed. Oh no, I clicked on Kingdom Report by mistake because I clicked on Spellbook. Okay, so I really want to get this Scholar's Sanctum, as I mentioned in the first video. Why? So, but I don't have enough mana yet, so I am going to put mana production. At least this will produce 1 extra mana. One of the things they changed is that these don't produce 1 mana per shard. So we'll have to see what it does actually, exactly how that was affected. But another great reason why I like to take this at least +2 or +3, I can't remember, mana per turn as part of my building of my sovereign. I think it's super important, even more important now based on that. All right, so we're going to take a real danger here of leaving this city open, but I'm going to grab at least these 3 goody huts down here. Then I'll come back and we'll see what happens. Again, if you want to see some explanations of why I build what first, you're welcome to watch my first video. But basically, we're trying to build up some fame. Now, unfortunately, this +5 fame is not going to be enough. We need 10 fame, so hopefully I'll gain some fame with my sovereign. Let's take a look. All right, so let's grab some stuff. Nothing of value there. Just something to sell there. Okay, let's see what happens. And hopefully I won't get wiped out really fast. I am going to, I'm not on the highest difficulty. In fact, I'm not even on the second highest difficulty. I'm on the 1 difficulty below that. Can't remember the name of it. So 3 from the top. Okay. People watch my videos who help me out. The highest one doubles, or I don't know if they changed it in this version, but it doubled the strength of these guys. But if they were level 1, they didn't get any effect at all. So having the highest difficulty actually wasn't the best thing to make it super hard. So I went down 2 anyway because I don't know what else they've changed, and I want to make sure we get to everything in the video in case I get a bad start. All right, so I'm going to go down this track, at least for this first technology here. I'm trying to get to this mining and then eventually construction, but I'll jump around a little bit with that. Okay, hopefully something good here. Yeah, that's okay. So we'll see really quick. The club's not that great. Now, I heard you cannot... Good. I was wrong. Okay, I heard somebody say you can't unequip stuff. We'll have to see if that holds true. All right, so they gave me 1 defense, which is okay. As I said in my first video, I like to take a good weapon early. And this stuff, this club is basically useless. Okay, do I want to go down here? No, I don't, because those wolves will probably get to me. Let's go back up here. Okay. Let's see if I can avoid getting attacked. I mean, I probably could. I might be able to take these guys. I don't know, but I'm trying to grab a few more items here. Okay, so I don't know. I may start specializing earlier than I usually would. Let's see what this says. Okay, so this is one of the new quests. This must be from like Sorcerer King, one of the other games. So they added a whole bunch of new quests, which is great. It's going to make the game a lot more exciting. I haven't seen this one in a long time, so I got to offer them clemency exchange for service. I think I'm going to do that. That might get me a free unit. Let's see what happens. And yeah, I got it. Great. Excellent. So I got a unit. I don't know if he's a hero or a unit. Let's see. Oh, well, it's hard to tell. No, he's got no traits, right? So I think he's just a unit, which is fine, though. It's great having that early. Okay. So I'm really paranoid about these guys taking this city and ending the video instantly, so we're going to head back there. Normally, as you know, for my first video, I'm going to wait to get the fame level in order to get my second champion, and then I can decide who I want to specialize him, my sovereign to be. But we're not going to have that luxury because it's going to take a while to get there. So I am going to start attacking. I'll start with these two guys here. Actually, let me see if I can give them any equipment. I don't need it. And I'm going to give myself this +1 attack. Okay. All right, let's take an attack here. Actually, I don't. That looks like I didn't get both of them. Okay, there we go. All right, so these guys' mites are real easy for combat. I could probably take them even by myself. You'll see, and I've got that great weapon, which does a fair amount of damage for early game. They get dangerous when they swarm you, right? So they get a bonus for swarming you. But one-on-one like this, they're basically harmless almost. Oh, and that's a new sound I've never heard before. Okay, so we took him right out. And that's going to force me to specialize earlier. So I'm going to go for the assassin. It's really dangerous because I really need a mage early on. If I don't get a mage on my next hero or somebody that's going to make a good mage, that's a problem, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, and then let's take these three on. They shouldn't be any much more difficult at all. Slightly harder, but as long as I take one out fairly early, yeah, we'll be all right. We're going to take some damage here. So, see, the more there are next to you, the more damage they'll do from their swarm. Oh, no, they're not going to attack. All right. Yeah, see, that did 3 rather than 2, right? So they start to get a little bit dangerous as they pile up, but as long as you quickly kill one or 2, it would be really easy. There is a little bit of a zone of control. Like that guy, he could only move 1. He couldn't have, if my other hero here, or my militia, sorry, was back 1 square, he wouldn't have been able to get to him. So there's a little bit of zone of control in that. You can't move more than 1 through my zone of control, right? Which is 1 hex around, basically. So as we get into more combat, I'll show some of that stuff. So there is some strategy to blocking off your guys in the back, like archers or mages that you want to protect. Okay, next trait I'm going to take, I think, is experience. That's going to give me plus 15 experience. He has a built-in 25% because he's a general. Oh, and it didn't wipe this out. So I think in the old game that would have been wiped out when the city zone of control covered that, but it didn't. So I've got to step on that. Now, one trick is to leave these things because they'll keep producing troops, right? And then you can level up fighting them. But, I can't be bothered right now. I want to keep this city safe for a while. So this looks like, well, it's a dead end directly to the north here. Let's see if anything happens to the west. Oh, yeah, it does expand out. Hard to tell. Okay. So every time I clear one of those, I got 1 fame. I got to get to 10 before I get the next hero. But doing a quest like this will easily get me over the top, depending on the quest. Let's take a look. So my first quest, well, actually my second quest. This is another one from one of the later games, Not Fallen Enchantress. So this will be new. Interesting. I don't know what this is going to do. I usually know what these will do. All right, let's see what happens with standing. Okay, so, and this is still broken here. I guess I got 1 fame, maybe? I probably should have fought. No, I didn't even get 1 fame. Okay, not sure what the deal was with that. So that was a no-win there for me. Wolves have the same thing, right? So wolves will start to swarm you. 1 wolf is fine. It does a little more damage than the mites do. Oh, and he got a critical on me too, no less. See, that's a lot of damage. That's just 1 wolf. So I say it's fine, but we have no armor, no defense, so it could be a little bit dicey there. All right, so we got 1 fame for that. So you get 1 fame for and you can't see them too well, but you get 1 fame for clearing these little places where they were spawned or camped or whatever. But still, I got to get myself to 10. So let's see what happens here. Maybe I'll find some more of those. All right, so this is good. I have another place like this would make it. This 432. I don't love 432s. But it can make a decent conclave. That's one of my research-focused places. Now, I may wait a turn to fight these guys. There are 3 of them, and my 1 guy is pretty wounded here. So I think I'll just wait and see if they attack me. I may get away with waiting a couple turns. And we'll get this goody hut. Okay, that might help that militia out. So what you can do here, if you want to see if a weapon's going to be good, see their default attack is 6, and it tells you that's from a club, right? So if I equip this spear into the militia here, or the former bandit, if it goes up, that means it was good to give him that spear. Now, of course, if he dies, you lose the equipment, so be aware of that, but this guiding spear is not like some super weapon. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it went up by 1, and actually the accuracy went up 2. Oh, yeah, see? So this is the bug I guess they were talking about. I cannot, once you equip it, I guess to anybody but the Sovereign, it looks like, you can't unequip it. So that's really bad. I'm sure they'll be fixing that soon. So I can't tell you what the accuracy was, but it did go up by 10, it looks like, I would say. Okay, so that's good. So he's got a little bit better weapon there. Be aware, though, that current bug, if you're playing one of these early versions, probably by the time you watch the video and play the game, that will be fixed already. Oh, okay, so that's okay. We're healed. I think we can take them, no problem. I just don't have a lot of defense. Let's see what happens. Right, I'm going to turn down the sound because it sounds like it's raining. I don't know if that's new or not. I can't do it in here. I got to wait till I get out of combat. But sounds like a rain sound machine. Let's make this quick. Yeah, they're pretty harmless. They're slightly worse than mites, maybe. They don't get as much of a. I don't believe they get as much of a swarm bonus, but they do get somewhat of a swarm bonus. Anyway, they're pretty easy to put down. Okay. I mean, another level. So with assassins, first thing I do usually is take potential. As I mentioned in my first video, I like to have 1 spell group. So maybe I might take heal. That's kind of valuable. But right now, I'm going to follow this precision track. I find this to be the most advantageous. Although I will go here eventually pretty quickly and take this because 10 hit points is very, very valuable. But right now, this does nothing much. But these are very useful for my assassin build. Oh, I missed this. Okay, let me go back. Okay, that's a decent weapon, I think. Yeah, 14 is better. Well, I don't know. I like the initiative here, and I like the critical damage, but that's getting borderline better than this as far as overall. I don't want to give it to my bandit here because you can't get it back. Oh, although, that may be... Let's see. Oh, okay. So you can't unequip, but you can equip something else in its place. Okay, that's cool. You just can't double-click this to get rid of it. All right, that's great. And by the way, you can hit the check mark to do this too, as somebody pointed out. Thank you. Yeah, I'll give him this because I usually don't use this anyway. Okay, so his attack, well, let's see. His attack went up from 6, yeah, a lot more, right? To 14. The accuracy stayed the same, though, because it's not as good as the spear for accuracy. All right, great. We're getting somewhere. I really want to get to, so I'm at 7 fame. If I can just get to 10 here, I can get my next hero. That'd be great. Okay, this is really useful. It removes a random injury, and injuries are what happens when you're your champions, or what I call heroes, they get injured and they get a bad trait basically from the injury. And that is nice because I think it cures all of them, or at least one of them. All right, so my city's done with this production queue. That's why I'm up to 7 here. I am probably going to build I'll build a militia, then a pioneer. And the militia just to make my army a little stronger, and then the pioneer, of course, to expand as soon as possible. I only have one place to expand, which is here, I believe. I don't think. Oh no, I could go down here as well. Okay, it's 2 places. So I'm going to get that very, very quickly, and probably this 432, just for the 2 essence there is where I'm going to be heading with that pioneer once he comes out. Okay. See if we get anything better. Come on, some armor maybe. All right, that's okay. I think that's a +3 dodge, yeah. Oh, it happened. You're right. Even on the Sovereign, I can't unequip that. Okay, I should have saved that. I like dodge, high dodge for my my mages and other soft targets, but now I'm stuck with it. That's okay. Until I get something else, I guess. Okay, that will summon I don't know where it went to. It's over here. That will summon a Burning Wraith, which is level 5. It's okay, but it's nice. It's a nice little tank when you're fighting something that's really over your head, like probably these guys would be. I don't know. Yeah, those guys would be definitely over my head. Yeah, I think the Naja has poison too, which is really bad. Okay. I'm going to go back around and just avoid those guys. All right, and that's a good, perfect time to meet my militia. I'm going to come back this way, and we're going to go down to see what's going on down there. So I'll have my militia go a little bit ahead of me. All right, now, everything else moves 3. As you can see, my movement here is 3. So you don't want to be moving, because if I move 1 here, or 1 here, oh, actually, I'd be okay. 2 here. Now, you can't open this crate, right? Only heroes, only sovereigns and champions can open the crate. So as long as this square here, the 3rd move, is not next to any creatures, you're fine. Oh, it's next to a bear. Yeah, so this is just asking for trouble to lose your unit. Although I don't think the bear's going to come out of the its lair too often. It's still a big risk for no reason. So we're going to go here and wait for the rest of these guys to get here. So I'll just cancel that turn. Okay. So let me just set these guys on auto. Oh, there's another new feature that they just added, which is if a champion is in, I think if a unit is in a city, and I think a champion too, they'll gain 1 experience per turn or something. So that's great for stationed units and champions. I rarely station a champion except to, if I really need the, what we talked about in the first video, which is this, the unrest to go down, right? You have 21% unrest here, which is a good idea sometimes. But now at least they're doing something. They're getting some benefit, which I'm really excited about. I think that's a great move. Okay, and then I'm just going to force the end turn here because they're not doing anything. Oh, right, we want to turn that sound down. Yeah, it's getting a little too, okay. Yeah, I can just keep hitting this button as long as you don't pass a tech. Okay, so another thing that's really useful early on is this training, because it gives you +1 army size, which is pretty important early on. So I have enough magic effect. I've had it for a long time and I forgot to do this. So this is another time I made this mistake, which is I really wanted to change this. Okay, to this. I should have done it a long time ago, which is this Scholar's Sanctum. And that'll change my research here from 1 to 2.9 or 2.8 or something here. Okay, should have done that a long time ago, but that's all right. So we're at a little disadvantage here. There's that rain sound again. Okay, so they're joined up now. And then we can advance down here and check out what's going on. I'm still going to go to this 432. It's nice and quiet over here. I've wiped out most of everything except for that troll lair, whatever that was over there. So we're definitely going to go to this 432. It's just going to build really slow, although this clay pit might help us a little bit. I'm going to build, if I can, I'm going to build another pioneer, grab that clay pit, And then we'll build another militia. And then I'll start getting into some buildings here. Like a workshop, which will give me plus production. Okay. All right, I'm not going to fight these guys. They're medium, and they're I probably could take them, but I'm not going to fight them. I'm just going to keep moving. Okay, that's good. We'll give that to the... No, I don't want to give that, actually. To the bandit. I'm going to save this for my champion in case they don't have a great weapon. This militia, though, I'll give the guiding spear to. Let's see. Does it... Yep, it increased their attack a little bit, and certainly their accuracy, so it's really cool. So, you change a unit to which used to be just a militia, but now it's actually a spearman. It's going to have the same abilities to use the spear to attack from 2 away, etc., etc. So I don't want to click here because I don't want to be next to this wolf army. So I'm going to go here first, then next turn, jump onto the Humble Inn. Okay, so the innkeeper complains that a guest fled the town with enormous unpaid tab. Okay, we're going to go find the guy. Oh, and he's not that far away. That's great. Okay. I can definitely take these 2 wolves, so we'll do that next. So that's what's called counterattack. So not all creatures have a counterattack. If you have a sword, you'll have counterattack as a unit, and it can be pretty powerful. But you have to consider that when you attack. So like now that this guy's weak, right? He's going to be attacked from 2 guys. Oh, or dead. Okay, so I just lost that hammer, that expensive hammer. Like I said, when wolves get that swarm bonus, right, it's a little bit of trouble, and that's a little more than a little bit of trouble. So that's the danger of giving them the weapons. All right. So now we're back down to 2 guys. But I'm leveling. Okay. All right, and then let's grab this one next turn. Okay, so let's start our second city here. I know that's going to be what's called the Conclave. It's going to be my research city. This city is going to be a, because the high production and the 1 essence here, I'm going to make that a fortress, which builds troops, which is specializing in troops. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 things here. We want to go to my spell book. I'm going to do meditation, which is going to give me plus mana per essence, because mana is so important. And then I'm going to do exactly what we did in our home, which is this Scholar's Sanctum. Now, it's not going to go up by 2 because there's going to be a lot of... You'll see when I click on the city, it's going to go up by 1. So if I double click here, there's going to be a lot of unrest here, right? So you got all this unrest here, and it's going to get worse and worse from city count, and also because it's not contiguous to the capital. Its zone of control is not touching the capital, right? Which is possible, but it's going to take a long time. So let me just build... Yeah, so there's a few things I might consider doing here, but I'm going to build what's called the Cleric here, because that's also going to give me fame. And I'm really struggling to get the 10 here. I should have done the same thing here, actually. All right, we'll wait and see. But anyway, you're still getting, if you look at the research, 1.7. That's still pretty good, right? And it is including decimals here. So I'm going to get to this training in 7 seasons now. So you quickly got to get that research going. Don't do what I do and forget to do that. All right, so let's do this quest. Oh, look at that. Heals 40 hit points and removes random injury. That's neat. Okay, I don't need it, but that's neat. So let's do this. Let's see what happens with this. Probably get some money, maybe. Nope, I got the stable hands. Oh, great. That's excellent. Okay, and again, it looks like I'm supposed to get 7 fame, but I don't think it's... No, that's my current fame. I don't know if we're going to get anything. Yeah, see, that's a bug. I should have gotten something for it, I would have think. So I didn't get it. But I did get these stable hands, which look really good. In fact, well, they're good. I mean, early game, right? All right. So I'm tempted to give them this Shadow Dagger, but I really want to wait to see what my... Yeah, I'm going to just wait to see what my first champion comes out with. All right, and this bear is pretty... So bears and some other creatures have what's called maul. And what that means is they can attack multiple times, but each time their chance to hit goes down. So if you have a lot of dodge, for example, it will help, and it will help reduce the number of times they hit you. So I'd actually rather he attack me because I probably have better dodge. So I'm actually going to hold back. Well, that's not true. I might be able to kill him. I mean, what I said was true, but I'm saying, okay, didn't see. Now I'm in trouble because if they wipe that guy out. All right, good. So you see he got his second attack, but he just got unlucky. His second attack missed. If his second attack hits, he gets a chance at a third attack, but each time he attacks, his accuracy drops, so it's less likely he's going to hit. Bigger bears do a lot more, and so they're super dangerous to be fighting. Okay, I leveled up again. So now this is starting to help. I'm going to get plus 15 critical damage and plus 10% critical. I mean, to hit chance, critical strike chance. That's 15% chance that more that I'm likely to get a critical hit. And when I do, it's 10% more damage. So I'm going to take that one. So if you look at my character really quick, you can see the total. Oh, that's new. Unless it's under attack, no? So I think that's a bug. It's supposed to tell me, unless I'm missing it here, yeah, what my critical chance is. No, it's not here, not here. There's no scroll. Okay, so there is a stat here, you just don't see it, of your chance of getting a critical hit. And these things all add up. Unless it's, no, it's not here. So that plus 10 or 15 I just took will make it much more likely to get a critical hit. This is a plus 5% critical hit chance, and my class of an assassin has some built in too. So unfortunately you can't see it here. It usually is here. I don't know what happened there. All right, let's pick up the goody hut. See, I got plus 1 fame for that. So I'm getting plus 1 fame for these things, just not the quests for some crazy reason. All right, let's keep going. We'll fight this one lone bandit. I can probably auto fight this. I just, so early, I don't want to risk losing one of these troops. I'd rather they level up. Okay. And then we'll step on there next turn. We'll get 1 fame for that. So one more. If I clear one more of these, I'll be good. Let's grab another goody hut. Can't use that. That's chain armor, in case you're wondering. So do I make my next city here? I don't know, because I don't love any of these spots. Or do I go for this clay pit to help this guy build quicker? It's not going to help all that much. It's going to take a while. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, maybe I'll build. That looks like some. I'm going to head him down here because, although I've got to be super careful this wolf lair, I don't want to end a turn next to that thing. So I think I'll be fine if I go there. Okay. So this is a locked hero. This is brand new. So I think it's a level lock, or no, it's yeah, in tech. So if you go to their tech screen here, I think you need, under magic, I think you need this thing called Baron's Letters to get that guy. So he'll stay locked until I meet the prerequisites, but and then when I go there, I'll either have to pay him gold or fame or something to get him to go on my side. So this is kind of cool. New feature that you don't have to wait just for your fame, for the automatic heroes to appear every time your fame reaches a certain threshold, but you can actually seek them out on the map. And again, I assume the AI will do the same thing, so this guy might not be here if I don't get that ability soon enough. There's another clay pit, which is super important. So this is going to be a good place for a city here. Let me just clear it out. All right, so Nick, careful. 1, I got to make sure I don't end up next to these wolves. 2 and 3, so we're good there. But definitely got to like you don't want to click like this and have them do all your automatic steps and pass somebody and end a turn next to one of these guys. That's just not good. Okay. All right, so let's grab this. All right, I don't love this champion spear, so I may give this to the stable. I don't know. Oh, they can use this. Okay, so it's going to take me a long time to get a hero that can use chain. So I'm actually going to give this to these guys, even though I know I can never take it off again. But I'm not going to give them the spear. I don't think the spear is going to help all that much. But yeah, so I'm going to give some of this armor that I know I won't be able to use for a while and give them some better defense. That's cool. And by the time I do have the ability to use it, I will be... Oh, I wanted to finish this quest here. I forgot. I think this is this quest here. Yeah. So I went way too far than I wanted to. All right, I'll hit this and turn around. And it'll probably be a waste. Yep, lower land I don't need. Okay, so let me double back here. Okay, we need more. Again, super careful here. That's another troop for me. And when this, I think that tech is done. Yeah, I got the extra. I can hit. Oh, and they were going to fix this. They didn't yet. To show like the maximum. You can't have 9 right now, right? Your tech limits how many units you can have in your group. I thought they were going to fix that. Okay, so I'm going to be super... I wasn't... Okay, I got lucky. I just happened to click and they followed a good path. Let's kill these guys so we don't run into any trouble again. All right, so now these guys are a little more tanky. I'm sorry, this guy, this defender, because I gave him that armor. So, although again, mites are really not a threat. Not much of a threat. And they tend to, yeah, they did 1 damage, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to send him off here, actually. Okay, that's not good. Oh, it's so frustrating. Okay. So that is a special thing. This rush is a special thing for Kingdom. When my my faction type of men. So it's really useful. It's one of my favorite because can really get guys into battle quickly when you need to, or get guys out of battle too. All right. So I want to be a little bit careful here. I am... Okay, so this is a tough call. 6, 7, and this is only a 6. But there's no production here. It's not next to woods. This woods doesn't count. It's got to be right next to woods. And then also, it's too far from this clay pit, where this one's right on the clay pit. So believe it or not, I am going to put my city here. Not a great spot, but not the worst. So I'll probably make this a town. I want one of each in the beginning, so if it ever grows, when it grows, it's only a 2. I'm going to make that a town. And towns make buildings that can grow food so that all cities can benefit from eventually. Okay, that's of no value. All right, so I got my 10th, thank goodness. All right, so here's my champion. Oh, this is great, because this guy, Bannon Heisley, is great for a mage. He's got slow, which I love. He's got this, which is when you're not doing something with him, he has no spells. He'll let you go an extra turn, which is really great. And he gets all this nice bonus for how many shards we have, which is right now is none. So I'm going to definitely take him, and he'll be my mage. If he's not already, yeah, he's still level 1. As long as he's level 1, you're going to get to choose. Okay, and as we talked about in the last video, I'm going to recommend that you don't stack units in the same group when they're heroes, because they immediately, as soon as I join this group like this, he will get 50% less experience, as will my sovereign. However, he's also gaining the benefit of my trait, if you saw my first video called General, which is 25%. So he's more or less somewhat compensated. But I can fight better things when I have him in my group. In other words, I can handle creatures that are a lot tougher than normal. All right, so let's build this 3rd city. Not a great spot, by the way. Not thrilled about it. And let's build a logging camp, which gives, because I'm next to woods, which gives me that +1 production per material. And there's 4 material here, so that's +4 production. I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do the monument. I want to kind of reach to this thing as soon as I can, so I'll build a monument there. And then probably a workshop, which also gives me production per material, I think. Okay. And then this weirdness happens, which is when I leave the city focus, I should turn that off. The map doesn't, the map changes its perspective on you, so you got to be a little careful there. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy. But I really don't have any great city locations here. I'm not really thrilled. Even my first one wasn't that great. Now I'm going to do my first auto-resolve. It should be okay. It's 1 might, or it's a darkling, actually. And those other guys might have been darklings. Mites, darklings. Yeah, I think they were all Darklings, actually. But whatever, what I said still applies to them. Okay. So an auto works pretty well. See, I took no damage. But sometimes you'll take damage, and sometimes you'll actually lose a guy or take a wound in one of your champions. So you got to be super careful. You got to be at a pretty good advantage before you want to risk doing that. But it's nice, right? Then the combat happens quickly. Okay, 2 more fame. Okay, that thing is kind of useful. Let's see what it does. Plus 3 hit points whenever an enemy is killed. That's great. So I'm going to give this to my guy here, to my Sovereign. And yeah, you can't get it off. Okay, that's a bug. All right, I'm going to stop heading south. I want to head northeast here and see what's going on. Now, I'm going to guess that this is probably a corner here, and it's going to be a waste of my time to go up there, although I'll get this goodie hut. That's very likely, but I have to go do this quest too. And I wanted to do that earlier so that I could get my next fame level, which was 10, but I already did anyway, so not a big deal. All right, I'm going to have this. I don't know if I can handle 5. I think I can. So there's no indication here, but eventually there'll be like a solid line or something here to indicate how many, the maximum you can have in your party. Okay, so I don't know why I did charms. That might have been a mistake on my part, but anyway. I do want to get shard harvesting, and I want to see what happens to those shards, because that's new. Okay, now, if I put him on here and he goes in, it'll be fine. Nope, so the fact that means there's 2 groups here, and you can see I can go between the 2 groups. So that means I can only hold 4 units, which is fine. Although I may take out this militia party. He seemed pretty weak. No, he didn't. No, actually, he's pretty strong. Okay, I'll keep him. And then we're going to go into this mysterious hut and see what happens. So this will probably give me fame, take him to jail, but this will give me a unit, I'm guessing. I recognize this from, I think, Sorcerer King. And so I'm going to try this, see what happens. Okay. All right, let's see what that ex-swindler, what their ability is here. So here they are. Nothing exciting here. Oh, here. Well, they have weakness. Okay, and they have plus 10 experience. So, I'm curious. It's not a hero. I'm curious what... I think it's just a combat unit, right? So, but I'm curious to see what happens. And I have no need for her right now, so let's send her back up. Oh, she's a settler. Okay, great. What do you mean? That's awesome. Okay, so I just got a free settler out of that, which is wonderful. I love that. All right, and I'm heading this way anyway. So we'll head up this way. I doubt there's anything there. I may take one of these spots here. Which am I going to take? I don't know. I don't like any of them. All right, and this guy, of course, I'll just start exploring with because I can't fit him in my party. Okay. So not only does having 2 heroes reduce their experience, but it also reduces the experience the party gets to 25%. They're normally 50% of your experience. Now they're going to be down to 25%. And thank you for one of my watchers who told us this. I mean, I knew all of that except for the actual percentages of what the percentages was. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but it's 25%. But I like having a big group of heroes like this. Okay, it's going to hit turn. Oh, yeah, I forgot. She has to move. Okay. All right, so let's keep exploring this way. It's a good idea. There's an explorer unit, actually, which doesn't have terrain effects, but nor do my people. That's part of my trait. But I don't think they're worth it. I'd rather just build a unit. And they're also supposed to be more stealthy in that creatures attack them less often. I'm not convinced that's the case. Okay, so I hope this wasn't from before. I think I was. I had a city that wasn't building anything. That you should never let go. What to build? I'm going to go with another pioneer because I really want to expand, and I want to grab this clay pit. See, this looks like a dead end here too. So it looks, although this might not be, it looks like I'm in a corner, which is really kind of nice on one hand in that I can only get invaded from this side. It's also not great in that I only have one way to expand. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I picked that up. I like this because it helps you move faster, which is super important, but I really, really like this. Let's see. All right, we're going to go to knowledge because knowledge is going to give me a study. Yeah, these are really cheap anyway, so I'll just get those out of the way. I change my mind every time I play. Wow, this looks like a dead end. Oh, no, it's not. Maybe it is. We'll know in a couple turns. All right, these guys are going to grab this goodie hut. Let's see what happens. Okay, I forget what that gives you. Let's see. That gives you 10% poison resistance. I think... Yeah, I'll save that. Okay, dodge by 1. So I want to go over here to my mage, give them dodge, because they always get targeted by archers. There's 2 of them. I think that's type a bug. Okay, and then I don't really need... I can't remember, but I think I took poison resistance myself, so I'm going to save this for the next hero, because my mage is rarely going to be in the front lines to get poisoned by anything. Not that it's not impossible. Okay, I think there's going to be nothing here, and so I'm going to start heading her back this way. Just a little guess here. Okay, another hammer. This is not a great hammer. I'm not even going to give it to one of my troops, I don't think. Nah. Okay. All I care about for this guy is my mage, that he has a high initiative, so that 3 initiative is important. The rest doesn't matter. Eventually we'll give him a staff so he can do ranged attack. Oh, another hero. Look at this. Okay, good. Raleigh Stromborn. And that blue, I guess, compared... So take a look. The red means it's locked. The blue means it's not locked. So maybe it's going to cost me some money. Who knows what, but I can grab another hero here. This is great. Wish I'd gone this direction a little earlier. Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so let's click it. Okay, 34 Gilder, great. Renews my oath, and we got 105, so we're good. That's great, so we just picked up an extra hero. Bam. All right, so let me go back. I didn't finish training. That's what happened. I must have clicked off this somehow. This gives me an extra army size, so I'm going to do that right away. And then while he's moving 4, I'll have him do this. Okay, so this is a nice, easy... Yeah, it's a pretty nice, easy quest. I'm going to send her that direction and have her wait there. Oh, I didn't see these guys. That's bad. Luckily, she didn't end up next to them. Okay. I'll send him... Where did he go? There he is. I'm going to send him to grab this goodie hut. See what that is. Another guiding spear. Okay, and we're going to have these guys take those guys out. So I'll keep him separated for now. I'm going to head him down here, and maybe he can join up with this unit and do some damage down here and get some experience. So I will keep my group broken up a little bit. So you can see that's a dead end too. So it really looks like the only expansion is this direction. Wow, that's good and bad. Interesting. Usually you're going in all different directions. Okay, the city's ready for something. Okay. So we are going to build a monument. Now the monument's going to expand my zone of control by 1, and the idea is to get these 2 blue zone of controls to touch. Probably it's not going to be possible without an outpost here, but I can put an outpost in the middle to make them touch, and that will tremendously improve his production. I'm also going to, now that I've gotten enough money, I think I'm going to put this down to low. Now I can't see. I'd be losing 2.1 a turn. But if you put that to low, that would also reduce. See, if you take a look now, the unrest is 32. It's still high. And if I go like this, it's 40. See, that dropped at 8%. I mean, almost half the production's getting wasted here. So, okay. All right, like I said, I'm going to go here and grab that. Oh, actually, what I might do is go here. Yeah, and that might get me a little closer to getting these zone of controls touching. So yeah, I'm going to go there actually. So I'm going to put an outpost here. We're going to grab that clay pit, which is going to increase the production for Rancor. Okay, and then at home, I want to build a merchant. I want to start getting money going. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so this is, I hate this, that I can't move and see what else is going on the map. So you have to kind of remember, it's really important. But luckily I can just catch the edge of this vision here. Rancor is this city over here. That's my conclave. So in other words, this is what I want my research. So conclave is for research. You'll see you get an extra research bonus here. And there's buildings specific to research. And the reason I'm taking that is because it's got 2 essence, and the essence helps the research depending on what I'm doing. The fortress is for building troops, so that's what I'm going to build in my capital, my initial settlement. And the town is for money, producing money and food, and that also expands quicker, a little bit quicker. So I'm going to use that for the 3rd settlement that I settled way down in the south here. But you got to be careful, and you got to know the name of your cities, because there's no, at least I don't think there's a way. Somebody said there was, but I haven't figured it out. There's no way to see your map and understand which city you're looking at, right? But I happen to be lucky that I can see it here. So I'm going to pick that to be a conclave. You see it's +2 research, +1 production, but versus +1 research, +4 production, versus +1 zone of control, and then +1 money, right? So again, this is for research. I'm going to take that up. So, okay, this happened. All right, so you died. So I'm going to save scum because what save scumming, of course, is I'm going to reload the game because I meant to, and I got caught up with talking to you, and I said to you, we got to be careful not to auto move a unit. So I'll reload the game and come back, and we'll. Okay, so I reloaded the game. Okay, I think I have to select my city after. Yeah, see, the circle means it hasn't been specialized, so it's going to have to redo that too. All right, so this one I'm going to move down here, and we're going to see if we can build another city. If not, at least an outpost. There's another clay pit, so that would make the city nice and strong. All right, let's get that guy. I think he's already on his way down there. Good. Oh, now you see this army. I got to be careful, so I'll stop here. I'll have her stop here, and I'll have him keep exploring ahead of my hero there. Okay, we're good, except we've got to rebuild here. I said merchant. Okay. So again, I try to play without loading a save game unless something stupid happens that I was planning to do and I just neglected. You make your own rules, of course, what works for you. Okay, there it is again. That's the same decision we made earlier. I just, when I reloaded the game, I lost that. All right, so these guys are going to take them on. I'm not going to auto this one. They're a little too strong. Their attack is a little too strong, but it will be very easy. Now, this is my mage. Now, just so you know, if you go into spells here, right, actually, it's okay. If you click on this, it'll assign it to one of these hotkeys. So I'm trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, so for example, this, oh no, it's there. Okay, they're all here. But when you get more spells in this list, they will not appear as one of your hotkeys here. And you always have to click spells and then select it. So what you want to do is click this number and then click on a slot and it will put it there. So you emptied this slot here because that's where it was, but it'll replace whatever's in that slot. So now I can always directly get to this slow spell rather than having to go to spells and select it. Obviously, that's not happening now because there's not enough to fill it, which is fine. But as these grow, as you get more and more spells, you want to be able to click this number and put it in one of these hotkey positions, which you can also use numbers for. I always click it, but you always want it at this level rather than have to dig down. Same thing with the items here. If you wanted to use an item, you've got to click items. I don't usually move these here because they're one-offs, right? So I keep them in items. Just remember, you can use anything in the spell list, anything in the item list that's not grayed out like this, disabled. So remember that they're there. And of course, the things you use most often should be pinned to this top layer. All right. So our first spell, we're going to do a slow spell. I'm doing this just to demonstrate. I don't think I would waste 5 mana normally. But it certainly doesn't hurt. It's a nice cheap spell, and they resisted, so it was ended up being useless. waste, but just to show you how the spells work. So slow is great, particularly you get like a boss, like a huge, troll or something, and then you get 3 minions here. You definitely want to try to slow the troll, right? And then that'll make combat a lot. You'll get 3 or 4 attacks for every one, depending on your initiative. But it'll really reduce their initiative nicely. And opposite, of course, haste will speed your guys up and increase their initiative so they attack more often. He doesn't have it, but if somebody did. And my favorite spell is heal. So because these guys are so harmless, more or less, I'm going to put them into combat. I don't normally do this with harder foes, right? But because he does have that nice little dagger, it's going to do some damage. I just make sure he's not facing more than one guy because he usually has less armor. Right now, nobody has any armor, really, except for this defender, which has the chain helmet. Okay, good, Mike. So the first thing I do is pick he's going to be a mage. Remember, he was level 1, so he didn't have a class yet. And what's immediately is going to make his spells cheaper to cast, 25% cheaper. So that's really important. Okay. I can build this, by the way, this air shard. I meant to do this earlier, and we'll have to see what happens. We're at +5 right now. I don't think it's going to be +6 based on what I read in 4 seasons. Well, 6 seasons we'll know. So we'll try to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a dead end. I don't want to fight these guys right now. So I'm going to head them down here too and see what kind of trouble we can get in down there. Oh, and actually, I think I will kill these guys now that I have 4 units. This wolf lair, we'll get that on the way down. Okay, remember what these guys are doing? So they're coming here. Oh, I forgot about this quest. Okay, actually, I've got to go do that. Yeah, because they're going to have to find bandits to do that. All right, I messed up a little bit. But anyway, we're going to put this outpost here. So a couple of things are going to be accomplished. 2 away in any direction. I'm going to be able to get this clay pit, which is super important. And it's also going to extend this zone of control closer to the city, which still can't reach it yet, but it's going to help a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to tell this to build the clay pit, which if you look now, if you click on it, the blue dots show you, hey, that's the city that's going to build it, right? So I click on it, and if you look here, it'll be in the build queue. There it is. I almost want to put this before the monument, but yeah, because the monument's not going to do anything for me, but this will increase production, so the total time will be reduced for these 2 guys. All right, but it's still really, really slow because of all of this corruption, this unrest, I should say. I could stick these guys in there temporarily. I may do that just to show you how that works. All right, let's keep going. All right, so these guys are fine down here. Wow. I hope that's not a dead end. Oh, see, I just did what I talked about doing before as I clicked. Okay, I wasn't being careful. Let's see, where is Raleigh? Here he is. He's almost here. He could take these 2 on his own. I didn't see what equipment they gave him, by the way. Oh, a rusty sword. That's not good. So I'm going to definitely give him this sword, which is a 9 + 3 versus a 8 - 2. And plus this ignores 33% of defense, which is great. Okay, I'm glad I checked that. Okay. The shared inventory is really nice. In the old games, you'd have to run back to where the army is to get all the weapons and armor and things. Okay. +1 army size. And now I want to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to grab civics. This is going to make the bell tower, which is going to reduce corruption or unrest. Okay. Right, so we're going to have to get her in the party, which now she can fit because I have that 5th slot that I just got from that tech. And then once we go in here, we'll probably have to fight bandits. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. But it's good money. Oh, okay, so sometimes you get lucky with this quest, but you can't risk it. But a lot of times there's bandits here that you'll have to fight. But and the bows are useless, right? Do not take a bow. But the Gilder, $100 is great. So we'll take that. And with that $100, I might temporarily drop my tax rate so that I can build a little better. I am going to do that, actually. Wow, another hero. Okay. And another clay pit. Wow. Now, I'm tempted, right, to see what this is. I'll just build a unit and send them there. It's at the top of the map here. Well, I don't know. I don't want to waste the time doing it. I'll send a unit over there in a little while and take care of it. But I think that's a dead end. I could be wrong. Okay, so here's a 3-3-3, which is okay. Other people love 3-3-3. I do like the 3. We'll definitely put a conclave there. But it's really slow to build. All right, now this guy was supposed to take out these guys. Here he is. Okay. So there's 2 Darklings there. No problem. Particularly that better weapon. Let's take a look. Like I said, no problem, right? Yeah, they do like 1 or 2 damage. As long as he doesn't miss too often, he should be okay. Yeah, see, there's the counterattack. See, and they do not, if I remember, they do not get counterattack, right? So he attacks, they don't get a counterattack. But when they attack him, they will get a counterattack because he's using his sword. Oh, it's going to be a little closer than I thought. Now, once they're damaged too, they do less damage. As do your army groups too. Okay. So I'm going to make him a warrior, I think. Yeah, a commander's good. I usually build a commander. My race, my faction has something I can make a commander. So I'm going to do warrior. I like to have a strong warrior. Okay, so now I've really every class that I want to have. For now, for the early game. All right, great. And they're going to head back here too. Even though I'm now suspecting that might not be a corner up there. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so now I have the bell tower, and I'm tempted. Yeah, why didn't knowledge get finished? Let's see. Oh, it did. Okay. So what happened there was excess. There was excess when I finished whatever. I think it was civics. When I finished civics, there was excess research. And so this had no number on it. And what that means is if you click on it, there's enough research to complete it. And if you had clicked on one of these, their numbers would have been reduced to like 6 or 5. If you back the video up, you'll see that. I'm tempted to do this one first because this gives me a very important thing called Town Hall. So I am going to do this, even though I love to rush this track down here. I'm going to do administration. It helps a lot with corruption. Okay, let's see. So it's splitting in 2 different... Nope, that's just one direction. Okay. Wow, it's a really strange map. I haven't seen one like this in a long time. But all I got to do is defend this city and I'll probably be okay. Okay, and let's explore a little bit. There might be a better city site. Maybe there won't be. Okay, so that is... Is that somebody from the faction? No, that's a creature. Okay. Oh, wow, 242. Right, that's 8. This is 9. But this gets the 4 and the woods. And it would be nice to make a fort here, too. Right, if this is where all the enemies are going to be coming from. It's a tough decision to make. I got to think about that. So the 3-3-3 would make a really great conclave with this 3 essence is really strong. But 2-4-2, again, the food would be low, but it's nice production and it's next to a woods for even more production. And it'd be nice to have a fortress out here defending my frontier. So I'm leaning towards that, even though I'm sure other people will disagree with me. Okay, it's got to be careful, this guy here. So let's go 1, 2, nope, okay. Oh. Okay, so was I wrong? That guy was a faction? Okay, I may have missed that. All right, so let's go a little further. 1, don't want to end up next to those wolves. 2, oh, there's more there. 3. Okay, so well, I don't know. I could put it there. I mean, in addition to one of these 2 places, but I'm going to go 2-4-2. It's my instinct to always go with production. Otherwise, it just takes too long. By mid-game, I'm already winning. Okay, now first thing I want to do is go to my spell book and take mana. So +1 mana per essence. That's going to give me a lot of mana. And then as before, I want to do this +2 research, even though we're not going to get a full +2. Research is so critical. Okay. And then here I'm going to build the logging camp. That's the plus production there. And I'm going to build a monument. I'll explain that. I want the zone of control to expand quickly to kind of stop people from coming back here. And also I'll get these two in my zone of control, which will be nice for getting mana. All right, I'm going to send them up here. Okay, can't reach. These guys already went. Okay, so I still have a city. Okay. I'm going to train another pioneer. I really want to grab all of these clay pits for extra production. But then I'll build a bell tower. Bell tower, I didn't show you this, but bell tower will, here it is, will do -5 unrest. And even in my capital here, I still got a 13 unrest. Plus, it will allow me to build a building which will expand the zone of control in a little bit. And that's my ultimate goal, is I want these two to touch. So this one will also, that'll expand at 1. And then the building after the bell tower, it doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter what order. So the bell tower will allow me, once I finish this science here, this research, I will get a town hall. That will also expand at 1. And then these 2 blue regions will reach, and that will greatly reduce the unrest in Rancour. And that's my very key city because it's my conclave city. Okay. All right, we want to kill this wolf. So this guy is, yeah, I was wrong. This is one of the factions, right? Yeah, it's this guy, Yithril. Okay, so he's another hero. So all these goody huts are going to get taken by him if I don't grab them quickly. So I'm going to rush to them. Oh, good, he made it. Okay, and that's going to give +2 hit points, so we're just going to use it for my fighter. Okay. Now, what's nice is if this goes down to 1 wide, it may or may not. You can block anybody from coming in that way, which would be a nice little bonus. I don't think it's going to. Because there's no, like, they can walk right through your zone of control. There's nothing like, it's not like Civilization where they have to get permission to go through your borders. And it's a real pain in the neck to keep their settlers from coming in here and snatching, grabbing all of these goodies. And also for him to come and get this hero, which I'm also not thrilled about, to recruit this guy. He may get to her before I get a chance. I don't know if he has the tech for it. Hopefully not. Let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to watch. Okay, he's undecided because I guess there's nothing. Oh no, there's one more goodie hut right here. So let's grab this quickly. Okay, that is experience. So I want that from a mage. Your mage is the most powerful character, and it's really important to get high. Oh, by the way, I'll give him the poison resistance, but you want this for the mage. So if I go back to my mage, here they come. Click on the mage, go to equipment. I want the experience for the mage because they're most important. So now I'm going to go for, so after picking his class, now he's 3rd level. You'll see in the video what I selected, but I like knowledge pretty early. I may sometimes rush this, which is summon ice elemental, because that's super powerful, having that extra unit in combat, but I'm going to go for the experience. Okay. And then those guys can just shoot down here. Oh, I was going to show you by putting them in here. Maybe I'll do that for a turn. All of them, not just him. How greatly it reduces the unrest. So if you take a look now, this turn, the unrest here is 40%, right? Which is about the same as the other city that's not connected. Okay, I'm going to watch as it drops. So this is a good way to quickly build up a city on the outskirts here. So remember, it's 40% unrest. So as I put all these guys in here and keep them there, for each turn that I keep them there, let me just keep expanding here a little bit. Okay, we're going to rush that. Hopefully I can pass them because I get a little boost for my city here, which would be great. By the way, one of the things that would be really helpful to research is this, trading, because that gives you, I think it's trading. Yeah, it doesn't say it there. But if you were to zoom in here, it would. Trading gives you. It doesn't say in that tooltips. That's a bug. It gives you roads between cities, which would make a road all the way down here, which would make it super fast for my units to move back and forth. So that would have been a smart thing to do with this kind of elongated empire. Oh, okay. Wow, another, is this really? No, it's not a dead end, okay. Anyway, it's still a weird shaped empire. Okay, now this guy is a pioneer. I'm not in a rush to use them, so I can certainly use them as a scout. It's not the smartest thing in the world, and as long as you're careful, though, I'm really curious. And it's not urgent that I have that pioneer down here just yet. In fact, once the roads get in, then the pioneer will come back pretty quickly. Okay, so now I can build town halls. Now I'm going to do what I just said. I'm going to get these roads built. So I'm going to take trading, but I'm really putting off this. I'm trying to rush to this great mill, and I may miss it because it's a world wonder that only can be built once. 1, 2, okay, 3. Right, he's going to rush this thing. Okay. So now, take a look. I meant to show you this before. Now the unrest has dropped to 25, and you'll see that my sovereign took -10 off, and my other champion took 5 off. So, you know, if you wanted to quickly build up, like, it would have been really useful to do that here in the Conclave, because this is such an important city. But it's okay. We'll see what happens. Now, if you go... No, it won't show up yet. I won't be able to, it won't see it here until I build this. But once I build this bell tower, then the town hall will show up, and I will expand this an extra one, and then I'll get a little continuity there, which would be great. Okay, we're still going. Now, this guy I don't want to go too much further because I've got these... Wow, it looks like another dead end. I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay. He's going to just grab the stuff and probably that quest. Oh, that's good. +2 Gilder. So I'll give that to my sovereign. Not that it matters who has it, really, but... and I'm going to take him out of this city, by the way. Okay. I meant to do this a little earlier. Okay, so I'm going to click on my sovereign. Oh, maybe he already has that trait, actually. Let me see. Would I have taken that trait? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think I do. So let me give him that trait, which... Actually, I'll give it to the mage, because I know he doesn't have it for sure. So I'm going to... where did I see it? Here. Grants the unit the merchant trait +2 Gilder per season. So that'll be great. Okay. So this next turn, I think this -1.7 will turn positive. And at this low taxes, I'm getting a little less unrest, which is helping my production everywhere. At least I hope so. Okay, he's got 2 more moves. We can't grab this. That's deadly. We don't want that. But I will grab this treasure chest here. Okay. So, diplomacy is pretty, I don't know, lame is the right word here for this game. They're cool already, which means they don't really like me much, and they're demanding tribute. And it says 15 plus a seasonal delivery, and I'm not even sure the seasonal delivery actually ever happens, and if it does, it's really low. So, I very, very often do not pay this, but it's only 15. I'm going to pay this. And if you look here... I'm still positive here. I don't think there is actually. I think that's a bug, the residual. And for 15 to keep him off my back a little longer until I get established, I'm very happy with. Now, you can see this is 1 wide, even though you can't click here or here. I know that looks like there's more, but these are actually like a shoreline. By the way, the waves are back from one of the older versions, which is great. So it's really smart for me to just plop like a militia right here, because no one can get through here unless they're at war and they fight me, and that will protect all the stuff here, assuming this is a dead end, by the way. It'll protect all these things from him sending a settler in here and just grabbing this stuff behind my back by putting outposts there. So really, really important thing to do. Oh boy, I'm not going to get far enough to know because, okay. Yeah, it's really, really important to know if that's a dead end. And actually, it's hard to tell. That looks like there's a curve there. That's really scary. So, all right, this is my, so I really, okay, bell tower. So the corruption here is terrible. The unrest here is terrible. So I'm going to build a bell tower, and then I'm going to build what's called the town hall as soon as possible. Now, as soon as, I don't have that much money, but I can eventually start rushing these things. See, I can't do that. 305, yeah. If I do a lot of money, I will rush buildings for the conclave in particular. Okay, great. So we have an extra helmet. I'm happy to give it to him. At least I thought I saw a helmet show up here. Is that crazy? Oh, there it is. Requires level 3. He can't wear it. All right. Now, they can take this bit army here, so let's do that. He can definitely take that. All right, so I don't know where. I guess somewhere over here I met the Gildan, which is another kingdom. Right, so there's kingdoms and empires, right? And we're kingdoms, the quote-unquote good guys, though you can still fight good guys, of course. But they're more likely to be friendly towards me, another kingdom. Now, see these guys in the middle with all three? So that's pretty precarious. I probably should have moved over here. Okay, but now that we're down to 2, it's not so bad. But see, I'm going to put him in the middle to try to draw fire, because he can take more damage to these guys. Right, so I move him here. It's a little bit of a tactic here to... Well, this guy could certainly run around and get to him, and they often do. Yeah, it ended up not mattering. But, you know, you want to keep your guys alive, right? And so as your guys get wounded a lot of times, particularly this early game where it's not so critical they're on the front, I move them to the back to protect them. But we're down to one guy. One guy is not going to end them. Okay. Okay. All right, so same thing with him. I'm going to take... actually, this is interesting. He has this air discipline, which is super powerful for 2 reasons. That Guardian Wind spell, even though he's a fighter, right, he can still launch the spell, is great against archers, and that tutelage helps gain experience much quicker. And I'm doing really well with mana, so that is so tempting to take. However, I'm going to go and meet... Oh, wait a minute. Did I already take the other one? Oh, no. I'm going to go with plus 15 experience. That's always a nice investment. Eventually, that'll pay for itself. Yeah, it looks like there's some... Let me go one more square. Looks like there's something there. Let's see. Yep. So that's... Gildan is coming from this direction. So this is not a dead end. So I definitely want to block this really soon. Not that an outpost is going to completely block it. I don't... Oh, maybe... No, it won't completely block it. But at least it'll make it easier for me to kick them out. And it looks like the other guys come from this direction. So I really, 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 really need a lot of things going on down here as soon as possible. And so I'm going to blow this off and get these guys down here. And I'm going to hope that those roads show up really quickly. Okay. You know what? I think I forgot to kill these wolves here. I know I forgot to kill these wolves. You can see them there. So that's a pain in the neck. I meant to do that on the way down. Okay. So for this guy, I'm going to train some militia, probably 3 of them, to do one of them to scout and the other one to block that entrance into this area. And then just another backup. So that's going to be his sole mission in life right now. Okay. So there's not much to do here. I mean, there might be some more goody huts or something here, and certainly I can kill these bandits. But there's not much to do in this direction, so I'm going to start heading out. Look at that nice city. It's got 3, right? It's got 3 food, 4 production, and 3 essence. Or what they call radiance now. I guess it's called radiance now. That's pretty good. And that's 10, I think. So that's a great city to take. And he only has 1 guy in there. It'd be really, really tempting to declare war, but I'm not going to. Plus, they tend to be friendlier to me anyway. All right, let's take these guys out. It's going to be slightly challenging, particularly if I'm hurt, which I am. So what I'm going to do is back these guys out just a little bit, and then I'll bring them back in, just so that they focus on this guy, which I think can take it. Maybe I'm wrong. A couple of dodges will help. Okay. And if he can finish him off. Oh, he can. Great. All right, now we're good. And there's that rush button again. Okay. So you want to protect these units from dying. If I had better armor on my warrior here, he could have tanked a lot better than that. But, okay, good. We're good. These guys will be pretty low after this, but they should be okay. All right, great. Ooh, it's going to be close. They're down to one physical unit. Okay, great. I haven't checked my crafting. There usually is not much here at all. Sometimes you can get, see, I haven't done any research. Well, I'll show you where the research that I need to do is in warfare here. So as soon as I get this, I can build leather armor, I think. And this is really good. I really need to spend more time on these 4 because I get much better units. Now, I'm not at war, so I'm okay right now. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm going to end the part 2 here. So we're really definitely solidly into mid-game right now. So my objectives are, and again, it's going to vary per map, but I'm going to try to close this map area off. I'm going to put a militia unit here somewhere to block anybody coming from this way. And then this way I might put a couple militia unit, or I put an outpost somewhere. Really have an outpost. I don't know what's back here. So I really want to close this off to protect everything from them, you know, the snaking in settlers around my cities and plopping them in all these different places is not good. Oh, by the way, I clicked this and I wanted to finish this trading. Actually, I'll play 2 more turns so you can see what trading does, which is really important. Okay. And then here I might can't train a pioneer. I'm going to train a militia much closer to the front so I can start blocking this. Once I have 2 militia here and 1 here, nobody can get back here unless they declare war on me. And that'd be great. That'd be super excellent. So, okay. Yeah, let's have these guys take these wolves out. So you get to watch my last battle here. Again, this will be a little bloody because wolves can do some decent damage. And so I'm going to do the slow spell on this guy. Let me see if it actually works. Nope, didn't work. Okay. So they're going to probably... Okay, now that one's dead, I think we'll be okay. But they're going to go... They're going to gang up on these... Oh, no, they didn't. They went for that guy. Okay. Missed them. Come on. Mage has to do the work here. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. By the way, did you see that? Right, he has that every time he kills something, he heals 3 hit points. Okay, so we got them out of the way. Okay, Drake went up another level, so I'm now going to have even better critical hit chance. And I'll grab this goody hut next. Okay, let's get one more turn. Okay, so there's the trading. I'm not going to go for the warfare like I told you I was going to do. I'm going to go for this because I really want to build this great mill, which is a world wonder. Only one can get built, and it adds a ton of production, and it's really good for my my fortress city, my original home. Okay. So these guys are going to go check it. So now you can see I have a road between all my cities, right? So if you remember where these settlers were. So now it's a lot safer to get past these wolves unless they're in the road. Okay. I take it back. I don't even think I can get around them now. Nope, I can't. So I really put, all right. So we're going to go this way. It's going to have to walk all the way around. I really should have taken care of these wolves, and now they're probably even stronger than they were. Let's see. I can't see them now, but they're probably even stronger than they were. So I've given myself a real big headache. But at least with the road, I can get back there much, much quicker, right? So if you watch these guys, watch how fast they go down the road. I think it's 3-1, if I remember correctly. Okay. So, yeah, it's much more. I'll come back. It's much more important to get them in this direction and start blocking everything over here. All right. All right, so let's end it there. So my next strategy is to put 3 militia, 1, 2, 3, completely block this off from anybody wandering back here and settling back here. Then try to land grab here. Maybe there's a place to build a city here, maybe not. So maybe one more city, but if not, put 2 outposts over here to grab the land, and then I can kick people off the land. It's a manual kind of effort. And then come back here and grab all of these clay pits, which are super important, and as well as this wild grain, which will help me grow food. And grab everything back here. Of course, check this out. I'm building a unit to do that. That's my next phase. But anyway, we're solid into the mid-game here. You really want to build up, as I said here, this is really slow, so I love to rush this. You really want to build up this science city as fast as possible. And so I'm really behind on that, and I want to get this land connected so that this corruption, or the unrest they call it, gets lesser. So I haven't been really good about that, or you really, really want your science city to do better than this, but it will get there. It will get there. So you can see in mid-game what you're cut out to do. You know, at this point, now you just have fun with the game, right? You don't really need another video on how to play mid to late game. You've definitely seen some of my early strategies. I've talked about advantages and disadvantages of each of them, and you know, these goals to get these clay pits, get your production up, get your unrest taken care of by connecting these cities when possible. At least these two will be connected, and then building these bell towers, followed by the other building there. Let's see what it's called. The town hall, right? Okay, yeah, I can't remember the name. So you want this town hall as soon as possible. In fact, I want this before. Yeah, so this monument's going to do a +1 zone of control, and then this one's going to do +1 zone of control. And that's going to make this connect to here and going to greatly reduce the unrest in this city, which is a big problem here. So I'm really excited about that happening relatively quickly. I've got the roads finally. So anyway, you've got enough to play past mid-game. I think you can enjoy the game at this point. I hope I gave, between the 2 videos, I hope I gave you enough to really get started. And like I said, the game will change probably weekly, as it already has, and things will change. But the basic strategy of building up and protecting and exploring will probably still be useful for some time. And then, of course, maybe after 6 months or so, or 3 months, I'll make another video and update this video to be based on that one. So make sure you subscribe and like the video so you can see that in the future. And thanks so much for watching.